Hi, I'm David Manti with Industrial Equipment News, and with me today is Alan Grau. He's the VP of IoT Sectigo. We're talking about quantum computing and the quantum apocalypse. This is the fourth part in a five-part series. Thank you very much for joining me today, Alan.
Thanks, David.
So for this episode, we wanted to talk about NIST. So what is the NIST PostQuantum Cryptography program?
Yeah, so NIST is a government agency, the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, and one of the charters of NIST is to define standards for cryptographic systems. And so they've developed or led the process that has resulted in standards that we're using today. The session that we're talking on now is encrypted, and underneath that, it's using encryption technologies that were standardized by NIST. And so, a number of years ago, I don't actually know for sure when this started, but NIST kicked off a program to start creating a new set of encryption algorithms that would be able to withstand attacks from quantum computing. And so NIST is leading the process. They work with industry experts, with companies that are researching in this area, with university researchers, anyone that's actively involved in doing research around encryption algorithms has been invited to participate in this process and help to create the new encryption algorithms that will withstand quantum computing or withstand attacks from quantum computers.
Well, and you sort of described what NIST is, but I think sometimes it gets lost on people why NIST is such an important agency. Could you talk a little bit more about the importance of the work they do there?
Yeah, well, really what it comes down to is why it's critical is it's creating standards, right? You've got thousands of companies that are building systems, and if there wasn't some central organization that created standards, right, then everyone's going to want to do a proprietary solution or be likely to try to do something slightly differently. And we've got some great minds in the industry, both from academia and from large research groups within the corporate sector, and they've got great ideas, but there needs to be some way for everyone to come together and to have an independent process to vet all of the various ideas, vet all the various approaches, and settle on what's best, and to have that be driven by truly a technological approach, and not have it be driven by business concerns.
So, Alan, could you tell me a little bit about NIST's most recent policies and recommendations, why they're important?
Yeah, so well, in this, obviously in the area of quantum computing, NIST has been working to create a set of standard algorithms, and that process started. A large number of candidate algorithms were submitted through from universities, from corporations, from various researchers, and NIST has started the process of vetting those and selecting candidate algorithms. And we're now down to a set of finalists that will become standardized algorithms. And I guess one thing I didn't mention earlier is when we look at post-quantum crypto or quantum safe crypto algorithms, the thing about them that's different than previous encryption algorithms. We talked in some of the previous sessions about RSA and ECC encryption, and the new algorithms are using different mathematical approaches than were used with RSA and ECC. And underlying that, those algorithms can still be computed in a reasonable time frame, computed efficiently on existing computers. So the encryption can be done on a standard computer. It's just done using different mathematical techniques that are not easily broken by quantum computers. So it doesn't require a quantum computer to encrypt data in a way that is safe from quantum computers. So kind of an aside on that piece of it. But we're now at a point where NIST is getting close to finalizing the first set of standard algorithms. So we're kind of in the final selection phase, or NIST is in the final process of creating the first set of standardized algorithms for quantum safe computing.
Okay, what happens after that first set of standards comes out?
Well, a couple of things. That's right now we're looking, they're predicting sometime in 2022 that we'll have the first set of standard algorithms. So at that point, there will be a set of algorithms that the industry can start implementing against, knowing that these algorithms will be can be widely used. There's a larger set of candidate algorithms. So companies like Sectigo are already in the process of utilizing and creating solutions around that. But we're doing so knowing that the algorithms we choose may change a little bit or may get swapped out for some of the other quantum safe algorithms. We don't know exactly what the final set of algorithms are going to be, but we can go ahead and start creating solutions even with some uncertainty. But once we have standards, then we'll know that the algorithms we're using are ones that will be widely used, that will be commercially viable, and can be used in broad sets of applications.
Do you do any work with NIST on standard development?
So Sectigo itself isn't directly involved with NIST. We've got a company that we've partnered with that's called Asara that is actually quite active in that space. Asara is one of the leading providers of quantum safe algorithms. They've actually were founded by some researchers out of the University of Waterloo in Canada that are very active in research in this area. And so we're working very closely with Asara, and then Asara is working very closely with NIST.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Alan. I'm really looking forward to our next conversation just because it includes the steps specifically that OEMs can take to stay protected. Really looking forward to that conversation.
Thanks, David.
All right. I'm David Manti with IEN, and this is Alan Grau, VP of IoT with Sectigo, the Quantum Computing Quantum Apocalypse series. We'll catch you for part 5 next week. See you then.